You think it's your strategy or you think it's the market, but the real reason that you're inconsistent isn't any of those things. It's actually your nervous system, your reaction to the market. If you've ever hesitated, overtraded, or gone on a tilt and blown your accounts, then this is the video that you need that you didn't know that you need to watch. In this video, I'm going to go through 5 of the reasons why your nervous system is actually controlling your decisions. And make sure you watch this to the end because you're going to learn a few things that you didn't know were controlling you, the way you trade, the decisions you make. So make sure you watch this through to the end. But before we get started, go ahead, like and subscribe and drop a comment below. This is going to help boost the algorithm and get this video message out to more traders like you. So let's get started. The first reason is because you get triggered after a loss. So you take a loss and now you go into revenge trading mode, right? So you want to get back at the market where you don't realize that the loss was just most likely part of your edge, right? It's part of your probabilities that you took a loss. You don't win every trade, right? So you're not accepting this as a truth, right? You can't accept it that losses happen, right? Instead, you're reacting from your ego. You think that the loss means you're a bad trader because you're attached to the outcome, right? You have your identity is attached from your ego. It's attached to the way you trade, whether you win or you lose. So when you win a trade, you feel good about yourself and your ego gets inflated and you think you're smart and you have all these dopamine hits, right? But when you take a loss, it destroys you, right? You start doubting yourself, you question yourself, you don't like the bad feeling that is associated with losing because it is affecting you in this way. And if you're not aware of this, this is the reason why you start to revenge trade because you're not aware of what is actually happening. And the revenge trade is your nervous system's reaction to the loss, right? You're trying to fix a problem now, right? So you have to be aware of this. And until you are aware of this, and then you have a way to fix this, you're always going to be taking your revenge out on the market, and you're just going to be digging a hole that you're not going to be able to get out of, and you're always going to keep failing as a trader. So you have to understand this and overcome it. Number two is that you freeze, you hesitate. And again, hesitation is a nervous system reaction because maybe you took a loss from yesterday or a loss previously. And so you think that this trade is going to be the same as the next trade, but you're scared to take the trade, where in fact, every single trade is different. No two trades are ever the same. There is no two market conditions that will ever repeat. You might have setups and strategies that look familiar and react and repeat in the market, but no two exact trade will ever be the same. So you have to understand that every single trade is unique, but you don't have that knowledge. You're not thinking like that. You think that because you took a loss, you might take another loss, but you need to take this trade. And then so you freeze. And you're also attached to your money, to your capital. You're too attached to the money, right? You got this emotional attachment with the money that you're scared to lose it. So you have subconscious programming of fear of losing money because you've put so much weight on the outcome that you need the trade to win. You need to be successful, right? So now you're scared because you just had a loss. So now you're hesitating. And when you're in hesitation mode, you're basically in a survival mode. You're not thinking straight. And then what happens? You don't take the trade and you end up missing a good trade. It was the trade that you were supposed to take that was going to balance out the loss. Do you understand? So hesitation is basically your amygdala, your lizard brain reacting from this pain that you've just had because the pain of the loss is still fresh, right? So it is trying to protect you and keep you out of trouble. This is your primal instinct from millions of years of evolution, but it doesn't serve you in the markets as a trader. You cannot think like that. You have to understand that every single trade is unique. Okay, so you have to have a way to work on the hesitation and get rid of the hesitation so that you can reset after every trade, and every new trade is a clean slate. And then that's how you can make better decisions and think clearly. Okay. Number three is that you now obsess over the charts. You can't stop looking at your trades. You get into a trade and you're looking at it, you're micromanaging it. You get into a little bit of profit and then you're micromanaging. And because you're doing this, you're going to end up closing your trades early. You can't let your profits run. So you're never going to see take profit. Very rare will you ever let your trades go to where they're supposed to go because you're micromanaging, you're obsessed with the charts, right? And then you might go into a little bit of a drawdown, which is normal. And then you start to panic because you're obsessing over the charts. You have to understand that no matter how hard you look at the charts, no matter how hard you micromanage, it's not going to change the market. The market doesn't care if you're looking at it. The market has no idea you're staring at your trades like a monkey, right? You have to let go of this need to control this. You cannot control the market. You have to accept the fact that you don't control the markets. First of all, you're not God. Okay. The only thing you can control is yourself, your reaction. And most of you aren't even aware of that. You're being controlled by your subconscious, right? And it's making you make all these bad decisions and react these ways, right? Which is not going to serve you as a trader. So you're there, you're hyper vigilant. You've got this sympathetic nervous system which is working against you, and you're being extra careful because you are too attached. You have your identity on the line, your ego is on the line, your capital is on the line, there's risk on the table, right? So naturally, your reaction is you can't let go. You don't know how to let go and just let your setup do its thing, let the probabilities play out. You don't know how to do it. And even if you knew this, knowing this information, you're still going to find it difficult because you have this hardwired survival, overprotection, super vigilant reaction that is in you, that the need to control the trade, this micromanagement is hardwired into you. So you're just going to be staring at the charts. And this is where you can't live your life. You go for dinner and you go for lunch or you go out, and then you have your phone, you're looking at your charts, you're looking at your trading view on your phone. You're not present anymore because your mind is worried about a future outcome. You're stuck on the future. You want the trade to win because you have your identity attached to winning. You think you're going to make money, or you're worried you're going to lose money. So you're not present. You're in the future somewhere on an event that hasn't happened, right? So when you're not present, you're not thinking straight. You're not even thinking because you're reacting to something that hasn't happened. Do you understand? You're letting fear control you. Fear of a future outcome. Right. So you have to understand this. And the sooner you can understand this, then you can start to work on yourself and let go of this need to micromanage and look at the charts. Right. The best traders don't look at charts. They have a system. They know their edge. They know their probabilities. They are there to execute trades and close the charts and go live the life, go do the lifestyle stuff. Right. That's when life is a breeze. You're detached. You don't care. Right. So that's where you need to be. And then number four is you feel like you're in the middle of the week and you're not doing so good. Now you got to switch your strategy, changing your strategy, right? And this is your ego protecting you again, right? Because it doesn't want to admit that you are the problem. You're over trading, or you're moving stops, or something's not working, or you took a loss and you think it's the strategy. So you don't want to accept the fact that it's probably you, or it's just, it's just the edge playing out, but you don't want to accept this, right? Because you're so attached. It's your ego. So then your ego is going to lead you to change and switch your strategy in the middle of the week. It's Wednesday and you've got a new strategy. You're looking at new videos. You got a new guru online that you're studying, and you got a new Telegram group. Now you're looking at trade ideas. You're doing all the wrong things. You're being reactive. You're beginning to lose control. You have to be aware. You have to catch yourself out that you are trying to switch strategies. Switching strategies is not going to create consistency. You need to just have one strategy and believe and know that it works, and then stick to it. And that's your one thing. You stick to one thing, right? You cannot master anything if you're trying to do too many things, right? You're multitasking, right? You're all over the place. If that's where you're at with your psychology and your thinking, then when do you ever get the chance to master anything? Do you understand? It becomes difficult. So you have to stick to your guns, make that decision and stick to the decision to stay with that strategy, right? And that is your nervous system reacting to these losses by trying to switch up a strategy because it's trying to protect your ego. Okay, so ego is really an enemy. There's no glory in having an ego. Okay, there's no space for egomaniacs in this market, in the market, right? In trading, you cannot be an egomaniac. You have to get this toxic trait out of your system, right? So stop looking for validation externally. Stop stroking your ego. Kill it, right? And become silent, become still, and then hone in, zero in on one thing, on one strategy that you know works, and then master that, master yourself, and then you're going to start to see consistency. This is how you get consistent, okay? And then number 5 is you're exhausted. You're now tired, you're burnt out, you've been chasing price all week, been obsessing over the charts all day for the last 5 days, since Monday, since the beginning of the week, right? Since market open, you were there, right? Till the day, to the minute the market's closed, and you're burnt out and you haven't got any wins. You're negative, you're in the red, right? And you're just burnt out, right? And this is where you start to tilt, or you're tilting already. But basically, you just threw in the towel and you say you don't care anymore, right? You just gone, screw it, I don't care. Like, I hate this account, I hate this, and then you just determined to destroy and burn your account, right? There is like, it's like a point of no return because you're burnt out, you're tired, you're not making your best decisions. The human brain, your mind is designed to focus on one thing at a time. Multitasking is a lie, right? It's a modern day lie. When you look at job applications and they say, oh, the candidate must be able to multitask. Multitask is bullshit because it means that you don't do any one good thing good, right? You're doing 10 things at once, which means you're doing nothing, right? And they glorify it. They say multitasking in the modern day world is what? No, it's bullshit. You need to do one thing at a time, right? And your brain is actually your brain is designed to make one high level decision per day. One, right? So that one decision is the one trade. That's why I say have a one trade rule per day, right? Then you make the best decision, right? And if it doesn't work out, you walk away, right? You don't try to stay around and fix it because now you've had your one decision. Your brain is now, you've used from 100%, right? Now you're left with 50%, right? And maybe some of you are even worse. You're more burnt out. You're 5 trades in, and then you've got your TikTok screen is on, your TikTok brain is running, you got Instagram running, you got YouTube, some of you got Pornhub. It's like a mess. You're a complete mess right now. You should not be. You need to cool off, but you're so burnt out and you're scattered. Your energy is not in focus. You're not present anymore. You're all over the place. So your brain is designed for really one high level task per day, right? And you need to go away from this video and write down what that one major task is for that day, and be clear on that task, right? If your task is to take one A plus setup for the day and walk away, that's all you do, right? And you figure out when your most optimal time of day is to be taking trades, right? Don't try to trade a session that is at the end of the day. Like, for example, myself, like I don't trade New York because it's 9 p.m. for me. It's the end of my day. I've used all my brain power. Why am I trying to make decisions then? I'm supposed to be going to sleep. So you need to figure out the session that suits you, right? When the time of day matches the time your brain is still full. Do you understand? You're still at 100% or at 80% of your brain, right? Then you can make decisions better. You make better decisions. Trading is about making the right decision, making good decisions, right? Making quick decisions without hesitation, and then sticking to your decisions. You stick to your guns, right? You don't flip flop, right? You stick to your guns. You know the context of your trades. You know the trend. You know what the bigger time frames are doing. You're clear on your bias. You're not trying to buy and sell at the same time. That's Mickey Mouse trading, right? So those are the 5 reasons and reactions from your nervous system that is controlling your trades without you knowing it, right? And I'm sure you've gone through at least one or all 5 of these, right? We all have. I have. And it's not, you don't have to be ashamed to admit it, right? These are natural human responses, right? We're not born to be trading, right? That's not the natural state. You have to refine yourself. You have to fix yourself. You have to adjust and rebuild your mind and rewire your programming, right? You've got bad programming from birth, right? So you have to just accept it, make peace with it, and fix it, right? And rewire yourself. And if that's something that you want to do, then check out the first link in the description, the Inner Edge Pro. This is the only program where we actually rewire your mental programming for traders, right? So that you can start to trade from a place of clarity, calmness, and confidence, right? And that's going to give you the consistency that you need. You don't need more strategy. You need to fix your mind. You need to fix your wiring, your internal game, right? Your internal programming, right? Your trading is a reflection of what's going on inside of you, not what the market is giving you, right? So you have to understand this. Once you can fix this, then your external world starts to change, right? You start to see your results. You start having more consistency. Then next thing you know, you're on a yacht. You know, you're buying a supercar. Do you understand? That's how it works. So if that's something you want to do, check out the first link in the description. If you're new to my channel, go ahead, like and subscribe, drop a comment below, and let me know which one of these 5 resonated with you and the ones that you are dealing with the most. Okay, I would be interested to hear it. And until the next video, you're on your own. Take care now. Bye.